Hello, wonderful students at home. How are you doing? Hope you are staying safe. Don't forget the preventive measures of staying safe. Please stay safe. I remain my humble self, Miss Catherine Iboleme. I'll be taking the subject agricultural science. And our topic for today is storage of farm produce. I take that again. Storage of farm produce. But before we start, let's look at our lesson objective for today, because these are the things you must know at the end of the lesson. So, at the end of the lesson, the students should be able to define storage of farm produce, list various ways of storing farm produce, and identify factors affecting storage affecting storage. Storage of farm produce is the act of keeping the quality of agricultural materials and preventing them from decaying for a specific period of time beyond their normal shelf of life. I take that again. Storage of farm produce is the act of keeping the quality of agricultural materials and preventing them from decaying for a specific period of time beyond their normal shelf of life. This means that we store things to prevent them from decaying, from prevent them from spoiling, so that we can make use of it some other time. We store things for what? To keep them for future use. We store things to prevent them from spoiling. Take that again. Storage of farm produce is the art of keeping the quality of agricultural material. We store it to keep what? Quality of agricultural materials and prevent them from decaying or prevent them from spoilage or prevent them from getting what? Infected and from decaying for specific period or specific amount of time beyond their normal shelf of life. Beyond their normal time, they will what? Say. So let us look at the reasons for storage. Reasons for storage. One, to ensure that food is available throughout the season year. A season year is 12 months. A season year is 12 months, and 12 months makes a year. If you don't store the harvested farm produce of last year, we cannot be able to what? Have sufficient food to eat, because the farm produce will be what? Limited, to ensure that food is available throughout the season. Two, to ensure that food is affordable throughout the season, because when we have limited storage farm produce, or when we have limited supply of farm produce, the price to purchase any farm produce will be what? High and very what? Expensive to what? Produce. To ensure that food is available throughout the season year and not limited because it has spoiled or decayed. So this is number two, is a good reason for storing what? Farm produce, to ensure that food is available throughout the season year. Three, to reduce food spoilage from pests and diseases attack. To reduce food spoilage from pests and diseases attack. We store agricultural farm produce to reduce the spoilage and pests from diseases attack. Once it is too much and we don't know how to store it, it leads to what? Spoilage, or pests and diseases will first what? Infect it, and to what? To get what? Contaminated. To reduce food spoilage from pests and diseases attack. Four, to maintain the quality of food for future use. That is another reason for what? Storage of what? Agricultural produce. Because once you have harvested the farm produce and you want to keep it for future purpose or future use, you can what? Store it so that it can be what? Kept for future purpose. We also have store variable seeds for subsequent planting seasons. We also store the seeds for what subsequent planting season, so that in the next season you will have reason to plant. In the next season you will have seed to plant. You will, in the next season you will not go out of what seed or farm produce for what planting. So let's move ahead. We have factors affecting farm produce in what storage. What are the factors affecting this farm produce? Where they are stored. The factors affecting this farm produce, where they are being kept in the store or whatever place they are being kept. Number one, we have the what microorganisms. Major microorganisms associated with what storage include the fungi, the bacteria, and yeast. The activities of microorganisms result in color degradation. It results to what? Color changing. Changes of what? Changing in what? Color. For example, we purchase tin tomatoes. You find out that because it is not properly stored, once you open the tin tomatoes, or once you unseal this, find out the color has what? Changed from red to what? Black. From tomatoes red to what? Black. What has affected it is what? Micro what? Organisms in the what? In the what? Storage. We have two: insects, mites, and what? Pests. They attack both the stored material and wooden components of the what? Storage structure. They reduce the weight, quality, and nutritional value. I take that again. Number two, we have the what? The insects, the mites, and the what? Pests. These ones affect this product in what? In storage. Sometimes you get, let me give an example. We have our beans, where the weevils attack the beans, and the beans come out in what? In powdery form. Or sometimes when you even want to cook the beans will be on what? Unable to be cooked. Will be what? Unable to be what? Cooked, because the pest has already what? Affected it where it is what? Being stored. Or we have the yam tubers, where it's being stored. You find out that it has been what? Become rotten, because pest has what? Affected it or eating it, so it becomes what? Rotten. I take that again. Insects, mites, and pests, they attack both the stored materials and wooden components of the storage structure, and they reduce in what? Their weight, their quality, and nutritional what? Value. Once the pest has affected the storage produce or the farm produce, it will go to what? Reduce their weight, reduce their quality, and reduce their what? Nutritional what? Value. Let's go ahead. We have the what? Rodents. Rodents are mammals that destroy stored materials. Rodents are mammals that destroy stored materials. Examples are the rats. We all have it around us. We see the rats moving around, and once they see a stored material, they destroy it by urinating on it or feeding on them. Rodents are mammals that destroy stored materials. Another examples are the birds. Rodents are mammals that destroy stored materials. So destroy storage facilities and attack storage structure. They eat the grains and waste the remaining part. Once they have access into the world where the farm produce are being stored, they destroy the facilities, they destroy the structure, and they eat the grain and waste the remaining part of it. So we move ahead to what? Ways of storing farm produce. Ways of storing farm produce. Ways of storing things. Ways of storing farm produce. We have by what? Refrigerator. Refrigerator, it is used to store highly perishable goods like fish, meat, poultry, cheese, vegetable, or fruit. I take that again. Refrigerator. Example of refrigerator is our what? Our deep freezer, our fridge in the house, where we use it to store our perishable what? Food like fish, meat, poultry, cheese, vegetables, fruits, etc., etc. We have another method, canning. This is a process in which food is sealed in airtight container. It helps in keeping away bacteria, unwanted enzymes, and oxygen that can destroy the food. We have examples when you go to ShopRite, you see some food being sealed and canned. Either you see them in sieve, in Ziploc nylon, or you see them in tin, where they are what being what sealed from what, from spoiling, from bacteria. Take that again. Canning. This is a process in which food is sealed in airtight containers, and it helps in keeping away bacteria, unwanted enzymes, and oxygen that can destroy the food. We have another one, drying or dehydration. Drying or dehydration. Drying keeps all the germs and bacteria away from the food as the water content is low. Example, we have our fishes where we sun dry them. Sometimes we call them dry fish, sometimes we call them smoked fish. There are different kind of fish that is being dried. Either you preserve them by sun drying them, or you preserve them by what? Smoking them, which is now called smoked fish or stockfish. So I come again, drying or dehydration. Drying keeps all the germs and bacteria away from the food as the water content is low, because once you dry them, the water content what? Reduced in the what? In the farm produce. So we have another one, salting. When we salt fish and meat, we tend to reduce the water concentration and kill the presence of microorganisms. Take that again. Salting. When we salt fishes and meat, we tend to reduce the water concentration and kill the presence of microorganisms. And this process is known as what? Curing. Take that again. Salting. When we salt fish and meat, we tend to reduce the what? Water concentration and we kill the presence of microorganisms. So we should look at examples of ways of storing things. This is ways of storing things, storing farm produce. We have by refrigerating. This is our refrigerator. You can see perishable fruits, you can see fruits, you can see the food item inside the refrigerator, from preventing them from what? Storage, from preventing them from what? Spoiling, from preventing them from what? Decaying. So that one method is what? Refrigerating. We have another one, canning and what? Sealing. You can see the two different, sealing and canning. Whenever you see a Ziploc nylon, it's called what? Sealing. Sealing and what? Canning. We have another one to be by sun drying. This is where you can see fishes being what? Sun dried, so it can reduce the water content. We've come to the end of today's lesson, and we discussed what? Storage of farm produce. I take that again, storage of farm produce. And I know that you are able to what? Define, or you can be able to what? Define farm produce and also define storage of farm produce. And you can also give reasons why we store our farm produce. Give reasons why we store our farm produce. And also, you can also know or discuss different ways of storing farm produce. See, we meet next week. Please don't forget to stay safe. Don't forget the preventive measures of staying safe. And don't forget to help out at home. Be a good student. Pay attention to your parents. This is the best time to stay at home and obey your parents, so that when you resume, you'll be able to what? Come back to pay your school fees. Take care and see you next week. Stay safe and be happy.